Hello guys, this is Yaro, and this is probably like the 20th recording for this tutorial video of how to make a character in All Flesh Must Be Eaten. Right now I have two of my players. Players?
Hello.
Hola.
One is currently looking at PC Parks for the last hour, and the other one's currently making character. So, yes, this video will not be useful to anyone, but maybe you guys. Um, Basically, the character we're making today, we're using the normie set rules. Basically, normie set is general people that live in the world. They're not Marines. They're not special snowflake soldiers.
They don't eat tuna in their cars.
No, they do not.
They don't have a million broken laptops that they can hack into anything with.
No, that's one of our other players.
Well, I would consider. Oh, oh yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Oh, I almost forgot about that. I was gonna say, well, I would consider my normal, actual life normie, and I've got a million PCs sitting in my basement.
But can you hack into any world government with them, a la Neil Breen?
One of our
No
players
comment.
can,
They just
because
put
because I approved this cheat without actually looking at how his hacking skill was. All I'm saying,
did he put like a million points into hacking?
eh,
You
kind.
don't even know.
Yeah, it's
Just watch it. Just
basically we
watch him
need to
become.
keep this man connected to the internet and he'll be good. Other than that, he's probably
Basically,
gonna
as
die.
soon as electricity and the internet goes down in the zombie apocalypse, he just doesn't know how to function.
Yes.
He's gonna lose like all his essence as soon as that happens.
Yes, and talking about essence, let's go to the primary attributes and secondary attributes. Uh, Thank you, Ghost, for that little spiel. Strength,
How do we like how much essence do we start with?
good question also. I'll show you that in a moment also. Um, Basically, I'm going to teach you guys how to calculate everything and what these things actually mean. Basically, quick rundown. Strength, how strong you are. Basically, can you lift a fucking dumbbell? Dex, how nimble you are and how fancy you can get with your
Can you
finger
escape
works.
the dumbbell from hitting your foot when you eventually drop it?
That will be a dodge skill, because I will make you roll dodge. Constitution. Basically, how much shit your body can take before it just says fuck you and doesn't want to work. Intelligence, how smart you are. We should all be -2 intelligence, but somehow we're able to turn on a switch and get online, so miracles do
Wait, you
happen.
you guys are at -2? Since when? I've been at -4 since I was born.
And these are my lovely players. Players? Players, yes.
I'm just
Percept.
imagining that we're not gonna be allowed to take the immunity quality
Fuck no.
I
because
asked.
that's a 7.1 that's listed in the book.
I
I
know.
imagine that's off limits.
Look, it's like Temporis in VTM. It's lovely. You want to have it. You'll never have it if the GM's sane. Sadly, I'm sane. Back to
Well,
perception.
Temporis isn't as game breaking if you actually run it with the flaws that are supposed to go along with it.
Shush you.
No one does.
I'm explaining primary attributes. Um, Perception. Finally, after the fourth time, it's basically, are you able to notice shit? Can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you tell that scary shadow coming at you is a fucking infected or not? Willpower. Basically, the shit that you're gonna, all my characters are gonna dread rolling and wish they threw every primary attribute into. Basically, it handles with, oh my god, that man doesn't have a head anymore, to, this really sucks, guys. It's raining. Yeah, it varies. Um, Now, secondary attributes. Life points. How much blood you have in you. How much you can take before you die. Endurance. basically your stamina. How many times you can lift that dumbbell before just being exhausted. Speed. It's not the drug, sadly, but how fast you can go. Essence Pool is a lovely little thing that I am going to torture my players over. Like, example, you are in a tent in hurricane season, and it's a category 4. Have fun. Pretty much your life is the suck. Qualities and backgrounds. Who wants to explain that? Because I've explained it like 18 times.
Qualities are, if you've ever played World of Darkness, it's kind of like merits. It's something that's not related to your skills or attributes that gives you a special bonus in certain situations. It's kind of like, let me look at my sheet here. I have Nerves of Steel. That means in most situations, I don't have to take a fear check unless it's the most extreme, like we see people utterly gutted and left with a sign written in blood saying we're watching you. In that case, I still get a +4 to resist a fear to shit my pants.
For example, in my campaign that I'm playing, which will probably not get recorded because I respect the GM's choices and I won't low-key record it, basically, my character was a Marine and also a biker when the shit hit the fan. Most recently, it's been 4 years in the outbreak. There's still shit that makes me roll fear. For example, I just watched one of my buddies get lit on fire, run around, and I kind of just aimed my gun, blew his fucking head off. I fucking had to roll fear to fucking after my character kind of went through the motions, then realized the fuck he did. Basically, uh, back to qualities. Most people will not know what World of Darkness is. Maybe I'll do a video about that. Maybe that could be fun. Maybe you guys can comment about that and say, yeah, let's do. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Why are you something like Cthulhu cultists or something? But back to qualities and backgrounds, or qualities and drawbacks. Backgrounds.
I got you fucked up on World of Darkness now, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Qualities are basically, as he said, they're not your attributes or your skills. It's a little bonus that makes you better, while the drawbacks are something that fucks you up. For example, a common drawback I pick up is addiction. I get addicted, and I pick nicotine or pot or something like that. And I do not want a rant about how pot is not addictive. I don't care. In the game, it gives me an
In the
option.
rule book.
Yeah,
It's an
exactly.
option.
So it's in the book.
Can I choose an addiction that's not in the book?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Can I take an addiction to farts?
No. And this is why I said we all have negative to intelligence. Well, now let's jump back to primary and secondary attributes. Basically, when you start make character, the character will have 14 primary attributes. As you see, there's 6 primary attributes. I can count. I may be -1 at intelligence, actually. I normally just do this. Simple. Simple. That's 12 points already gone. Yeah, they go fast. They really go fast. And I just do this. For the pure reason I'd like to have good decks and able to see shit. One thing you have to pay attention when you do this, the way I always have played it, after character creation, you can upgrade your primary attributes one more time. So if it's a 2, you can upgrade it to a 3, but it'll never go past a 3 after that point. Or a 3, it will go to a 4, but never go past that point. Again, we're normies. The civilized life has made us soft. Secondary attributes. We'll skip that for now, for the pure reason because qualities and drawbacks can fuck this up and make you recalculate it, and I don't think we all have the time, and I don't want to record this a 15th time, because at that point, my essence pool will drop to 0. What did you roll? Oh, you failed. Let's jump to the first one. Qualities and Drawbacks. Yes, yes. When you are picking your qualities, you have 5 points to use. For drawbacks, you can use up to 10 qualities, or drawback points. For example, adversary. So, that's a social drawback. Someone just doesn't fucking like you. Artistic talents. That's quality. It's nice. You can make art. That's the points that goes to it. It tells you what type of quality it is. Mental. Who cares? Ooh, see? Some things can be both. It can be a drawback and a quality. For example, the quality or drawback in terms of characters look or lacks there. So if you want to add points into it, you'll look more sexy, and you get a bonus, and will make social roles easier for you. While if you made it a drawback and put 1 or 2, you'll look fugly. Over here, that's more or less giving you examples what happens. Clown, you never take anything seriously. Let's pick that one up just for to teach you guys. Jump back, drawback, thing, 1. And I do believe it is a mental drawback. Copy it over. Make your GM's life easier. A happy GM means a GM that won't try to kill you on first session. Trust me.
I wish this was via tabletop because then you can just bribe the GM with food.
You can
I've survived more than one game that way.
you can still bribe me. Just slide me that a $20. You know.
Slide you those dank memes.
No, monies. Gotta make. I gotta run this somehow. You know.
Just keep giving you those dank memes to survive off of.
Yes. Also, now you can see there's some drawbacks and qualities that do have levels. And like the other ones, you can whatever. The level ones I personally like better because it explains what each level does more in detail. For example, Cruel. Level 1, the character would never hurt a friend or loved one. Enemies, especially those a loved one. Enemies, especially those who have really angered him, are a different fucking matter. He enjoys inflicting pain to them, mental and physical. Those he feels deserve that get it. I deserve what they get. Sorry, that's not language. And I probably have one of my players saying, "Come on, Yarrow, relax, breathe, let's breathe." But yeah, basically,
No, I'm just looking up Black Friday sales.
I'm probably gonna upgrade my setup after during Black Friday. But back to the game or the tutorial. Characters of this level are cruelly, blah blah blah. You can read this, you can pause this, you can see what this is. But basically, it's 1 point. It gives you something to RP more or less. I pick up 1 or 2 just for RP sakes. It gives me a little bit more points to play around with. So let's actually pick up level 1. Ooh, shit. Sorry, guys, if that looked weird on video. Won't restart it, though. So right now, we have technically 7 quality points because I just make the math like that, and it's more simple than saying, oh, you have these many drawback points, whatever. Just make sure at this point we have already used 2 of our 8 drawback points. Once you use them, just toss them into your quality pool, and it'll make your life simpler. One thing you can do with your quality points, if you want to raise your attributes, you can do that. But they're not going to be 1 for 1. They're going to be literally, oh, I want to raise it to 3. There goes 3 quality points. I don't do that for the pure reason it's kind of pisses GM off sometimes if, you do it if you don't ask permission. / I prefer picking up other qualities that help with my skills and make my character more durable. Also, quality points do go into your skill points 1 for 1, so That is something to look at. Ew, wrong screen. Hard to kill. One of the best things I personally pick up every freaking time. Just makes it gives you more life points. Because every time, every level you take, 3 more life points you gain. So let's let's make this guy a beefy ass character, more or less, with tons of life points. 3, that means he has 15 already. Because we're going full stack output, baby.
Yeah, 3 is what I have for hard to kill right now.
Or 5, I'm picking up 5. It's every time you pick up a level, you get 3 more life points. And 3 is normally the best medium after like you don't want to make him too OP and piss off a GM. And because of this, also hard to kill also has a nice bonus right here. Gives you +1 bonus for each level. So we picked up 5 levels. Guess what we get? 5 things for our survival skill. Do 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 do. And your survival skill is normally either one survival skill. It's normally like one like a GM will tell you like, okay, you have this type of training. What kind of how do you want to use it? Like, are you going to pick forest, swampland, mountains, stuff like that? Because we do have 5. Just that's Miami. That's our map actually. Um, Basically, I just do that. I normally force my players to buy 1 level of survivor before they can add their skill points from their bonus because you can't get a bonus on something you don't have. That's out of my mind things at least. And also, there are many different tabs. Each tab does their own different things. Character, this is more or less the main thing right here. So let's actually make this more bearable for my own sake and make it a 4. And remember, don't get scared of the GM like after you tell them I'm doing this. The GM understands you before the game starts you will change your character up a dozen times. Just make sure you tell him at like this is my final thing. Look over it. If there's any issues, talk it out with him. And make sure he tells you what's the issue so you know what the hell you're doing. So right now we have 3 more quality points. Next quality I recommend any player is, let's see. Yeah, honorable is a good thing. Good drawback in my opinion. Great thing. We're just gonna make a simple character, so it's not gonna be that annoying. Humorless also. Just gonna make you Killjoy. Nerves of Steel. Nerves of Steel is your bread and butter in this game. Pick it up and forget about everything else because Nerves of Steel gives you a bonus uh, +4 on every fear check that you have to roll. Nervous Steel in general will make it so you don't really need the roll for fear. For example,
Like all the mundane fear stuff, like you see a dead body, whoop-de-doo, you've seen it a million times, skip the roll. But you see some cultist that's hanging bodies from the rafters with the blood dripping all over your friends, you might need to roll on that.
thank you, Ghost. You took the words out of my mouth. Basically, Nervous Steel. The only time I will make my characters roll it, I won't if it's like something crazy. Like, example, Ghost's character. He has a group of NPCs with him. They're doing it and they're walking around. They're casually chatting as they walk through a forest. And Ghost looks to his buddy to the left, Guy looks back at him, and he has an arrow in his forehead, and he's talking to Ghost like, "Yeah, and he collapses. At that point, I think Ghost will need a roll a fear check because he just saw one of his friends die right in front of him in a most horrendous way.
That's how Abraham died in the Walking Dead comic.
That may happen. Okay, this is all done here. This is your. Now we're going to calculate the basic things for your secondary attributes. Ghost, you still don't know how to do your secondary attributes, correct?
I actually have been looking up the formulas in the book. I actually got them all done now.
Good
You
boy.
can still explain for the camera though.
I am. Just trying to see if I need to waste time on you or not. Basically, this is a little thing I have up for my players when they make their character in the first time ever. Basically, it saves you a lot of time. So, okay, life points. We already have some. We have 12 life points already. That's okay. Don't worry. That's the extra life points you get from that quality. Let's check our Constitution and Strength. Constitution and Strength are both 2. So 2 plus 2, 4. 4 times 4, 16. 26. 26 plus 12 is 38. Not the beefiest character I've ever made, but 38 life pool. I think that's still higher than most of our party because no one thought about it. 38. Same story. This time you do for endurance, con, strength, and willpower. And I know all of these are 2 because I normally never upgrade willpower because I'm a dumbass. So 6 times 3 is 18, I believe. 18 plus 5. 23, 23 endurance points. Not bad. Not the greatest. Again, this is a template character. Something I will mess around with more. Speed. Con plus Dex. I know Dex is 3. Con is 5. So it's 10. Easy. Essence Pool. Essence Pool is, I believe, you literally add everything. Yep, you add everything up. So your Essence Pool should be 14. Because unless you do the thing I talked about earlier and adding more primary attributes from your quality point pool, if you don't do that, you shouldn't have an issue. So Essence Pool is 14. 14. Perfect. Now let's jump to skills. Guys, we actually got to skills.
We did?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Should I start singing First Time in Forever?
Yes.
No.
And I prepared beforehand for skills. Bind skills, you can pause here, look at this. This stuff is nice to know. I'm just going to give you the rough and tumble way to do skills. Skills are 1 for the most part. So, like if
Yeah,
I...
unless you go over 5 or something, in which case then it starts.
Exactly, my boy. I believe it goes, the cost per skill level starts to go to 2 or 3, I forget. So let's, you start off with 30 skill points, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, the people saw my YouTube channel for a second. Great. End recording. I'm kidding. Fuck it. Show must go on. You see brawling. Brawling is dex based, basically. Kicking, stuff like that. So, do a dex.
Yeah, I have exactly 30.
Yeah. I should have just looked over here instead of making you think. Yeah, 30 points. And you'd basically just go through the same story over here. I'm just, I'm gonna save you the time and video length. There's tons of skills. Find what you want. And literally make any type of character with the correct skills. Just going through them real quick for you guys. Oh, one thing about skills. Gun skill, for example. There's different types of guns in the game. So, example, if you want to be good, you want to be using a shotgun, gun skill shotgun. You want to be using a AR or a AR that is semi or a hunting rifle. You want to use a Uzi, so machine gun. You want to use a military grade M4 that can go full auto. Auto. Yes, that is assault rifle. I normally combine both of those, rifle and assault rifle, for the pure reason most semi rifles are off the AR basis other than hunting rifles.
AR, AK types
Yeah,
shoot very similarly to hunting rifles. It's
and
very
the
similar.
only thing is you for the assault rifle you only get the bonus of you can spray and fucking pray.
Yeah. Wait, but honestly, for zombies, if it's a headshot only, I'm gonna go Max Brooks on this and keep it on semi-auto at all times.
Exactly.
If it's
There
you only use full auto against other survivors, really.
exactly, which I've done before in my other campaign. I've dropped. I've
I'm gonna play this like purely Max Brooks zombie survival guide style. Like I'm
wonderful.
following all those rules, God motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Okay. Other thing, hand weapon, same story. Knife, um, knife, sword skill, um, club. Clubs will go under actual clubs, cudgels, baseball bats, stuff like that. Sword skills, rapier, um, broadsword. I know all these swords are vastly different and use different skills. Normally, you're not going to have a rapier, broadsword, and a longsword, so it doesn't
And
work.
also, how would you justify being skilled in those? Like
It's
you'd have to be a former fencer or something, you
That's
know?
also true, but again, those skills can develop over time. If, example, you get to a settlement, it's 2 years after the outbreak, guns are not available. People are starting to forge actual spears and swords. You start,
True.
which I've seen, and I've seen communities in my other game with basically just use crossbows and swords, while I'm still using a fucking AKM, and I'm just mad dogging them like, fuck with me, I'll kill you. Again, my guy was a biker, is a biker, and was a former Marine corpsman. So
Yeah.
there's not enough fucks he can give. Plus, my character's father is also a OG from the Hell's Angels.
Nice.
So and he was a president of a chapter.
Did you basically make the same character in 2 games?
I made the same character for two games, but they play vastly
Because you
different.
played that same character in the Demon the Fallen game.
Yes, that character I actually just ported over because I was in biker mode, and I
I
just
mean, granted, I'm porting this character over from Hunter the Vigil. Gillian Slater is the exact same name of my Hunter the Vigil character, who was a crazy homeless guy who was a former Army Ranger who basically went crazy because he saw shit.
yeah. Again,
So I can't say anything.
yeah, you can't say jack shit. And everyone has a character they love. And again, I've made the same character, and every time I made them, they always end up different for the pure reason the father of the biker and the son of the biker, both same skill, same everything. Big difference. The son actually cares about other people. He actively tries to help people and try to be good, and he's a biker. Most people will be scared of him, but he actually has a good side. He actually protected civilians, taking them up north. to safety.
Mhm.
Wow, the father is literally imagine Negan on steroids.
Ooh.
Negan will do. He'll kill one person in front of you to teach you a lesson. Last time I played
Well, the thing
the
is, Negan has a point. If we're gonna get
yeah.
into walking
Oh
semantics,
yeah, yeah.
Negan
No, I
brought up
understand.
what
I
skill, but
understand
it's
Negan's point. The thing
like
I'm talking
Negan.
about the father before we go off topic. He goes purely cold logic. You struggle or do anything, he will just tell his boys to cut the guy's throat open and just continue through the process, not caring. There's uh, there's logic in craziness, basically. But as we
Yeah.
continue, you see language
Logic is
lockpicking. There's
embedded.
different types of languages: Spanish, German, whatever. Different higher you have that language skill, more fluent you can. Example: a level one or skill one language. El habla español. I do not. El taco. Where is el taco? While level five. ¿Cómo está? How are you? You speak the language fluently, and I do.
I'm only one level in Spanish, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
be sounding like Brad Pitt at the end of Inglorious Bastards trying to speak Italian.
And the wonderful thing about level five of a language, you can literally start picking, changing the accent of when you're picking. Like, I can speak Spanish, but I can sound like I can pick a dialect of Spanish. I can sound like a dialect of a dialect, stuff like that, which will get in more detail and maybe useful in game. We don't know. Examples, examples. Last thing I'll show you is the combat tab. Combat tab is basically where you store your weapons.
Um,
If I remember correctly, initiative is also for your decks, unless I stand incorrect. If anything, I'll do an update video at some point. Guys, do you have any other questions or anything you want to say before I go over combat and just end the video?
well, actually, all my questions were related to combat stuff, so I think you should probably just end the video.
Okay. Last thing, combat basically you put your weapons here. There you put your skill rating of that type of weapon. So if you have a level 3 gun rating for handgun, put the handgun you have here. I normally use this like, oh, I have 19 bullets or 10 bullets or whatever. I put it in there. The skill rating of that certain weapon that you have. So if you have level 3 handgun, put it there. Dice, there will be a sheet in the book that'll say, "Oh, your handgun is a fucking 50 cal, and we'll do D10 times whatever."
Jeez, criminy. That's
Would
a head exploding.
Yeah, the 50 cal doesn't actually. I think like if you actually have a Barrett 50 cal, I think it does do D10, but like I'm just saying a random example. And in the book, well,
Again, I think I'm probably gonna go full Max Brooks and like choose like a 22 as my pistol.
sure,
Like if it's against zombies, all it's gonna matter is are you getting a clean shot in the head. Against
ex
survivors, it's a whole lot is taken into account. But like
exactly,
with zombies, a 22, sure, a 22 doesn't basically no damage, but if it penetrates even the front of the skull, it doesn't need to penetrate the back. All it needs to do is bounce around in there, and it'll do it.
exactly. Oh, so the system. Oh, I'm basically using the system to run The Walking Dead. If no one caught the reference, or I've forgotten to mention that again. And the last thing I'll talk about is the ranges. That's basically where you get damage and stuff for the multiplayer. For your guns, it should also have a range section. Will say this is blah 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 and blah blah blah. Basically, it tells you the effective range of the weapon. Possessions, what you have in character. Example, I'm wearing a jacket, blah blah blah. Notes, your character backstory, stuff, allies or contacts you made in game, and notes like, I know this group lives in fucking Mississippi somewhere, or stuff like that, or I know there's a radio person casting a live feed every Thursday at blank, blank time. Last time I've tuned in, and he's been doing it 4 times. He may be doing it regularly, and I maybe can jump on the radio and listen to him again. Stuff like that. Just your personal stuff. I think this is the end of the video, guys. I'm new to YouTube. This is probably going to be the first video of the channel. I hope you guys like it, and let's hope it doesn't look like shit. Guys, let's say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Goodbye.
And